Hello everybody, my name is Gerard Morrissey. I'm working here at the Cliffs of Moher since March of 2019. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the history of the site. And when I talk about the history of the site, I also talk about the heritage. And heritage is really like our inheritance. And when you talk about our inheritance, we've inherited the name, I suppose, Moher, Cliffs of Moher. So why is it Moher? And the reason Moher is behind me as I speak to you, I can see Hag's Head and I can see the signal tower on Hag's Head. And that signal tower was built in the early 1800s, a Napoleonic signal tower built by the British. They thought Napoleon was going to attack Ireland. It didn't happen, as it were. But some of the stones or the stonework that's used in building that is from an ancient fort, 1st century of the Iron Age. And that ancient fort, the Irish name for an old ruined ancient fort is Moher, and hence the name Cliffs of Moher. That's the reason it's called Moher. So moving swiftly along, we're going to move to the 1500s, and I suppose the next big event in the 1500s is the Armada. And the Armada was a fleet that set out from Spain, going to attack England. And it went up the east coast of England, and a storm came, and then the Elizabethan forces, the Navy, Sir Francis Drake, chased them, and they went round the north of Scotland and came down the west coast of Ireland. And this would be one of the lookout posts that the local High Sheriff here in County Clare, Bottius Clancy, would have used. And he would have spotted them coming along. And legend has it that he lit some fires and tried and lured them into the coast, and did. And there's a number of places in County Clare where some of the ships floundered. And sadly, of course, he was under orders from the Lord Lieutenant of Ireland to slaughter and kill all the sailors that were on board, no matter what condition they were in. Moving swiftly along, our next big event is the early 1800s. Our local landlord was Cornelius O'Brien, and he was also a Member of Parliament. And he certainly left us a legacy or a heritage, as it were, because he built the pathways, built the original fences, built stables for the horses, would have developed the site as a tourist attraction for the 1800s. He also built what's now known as O'Brien's Tower. And O'Brien's Tower, built really as a folly, a place of entertainment, didn't have any practical use like the signal tower at Hag's Head. And we have evidence, strong evidence, in the local newspaper clippings, tourism in the cliffs in the 1800s, in the mid 1800s. People were writing about it. They were impressed by the views and what was available here. He even had a round table down in the edge of the cliff where people could sit and enjoy themselves. Moving along, then, sadly, O'Brien's family and that estate, it declined, as it were. 1960s sees a big step with the site. A German industrialist was going to buy the area here, buy some land from the Considine family. The local authority, Clare County Council, got to hear of it, and they stepped in and they actually purchased what is now the site, purchased about 2 acres from the Considine family, and that enabled what's now seen as a visitor centre. In the 70s we had the local tourism group, Shannon Tourism. They refurbished and repaired O'Brien's Tower and made it a visitor centre, and they built a small little gift shop here in the area. Then in the 1990s, Clare County Council, they commissioned a competition among the architects in the Royal Institute of Architects of Ireland, and a firm in Cork won that. They were O'Riordan, Reddy and Staheley, and they were the ones that won the competition to build this lovely building underneath the hill. You cannot actually see it from the road, like it's not visible anywhere around. And they built as well, upgraded the facilities, the pathways here along the edge of the cliff. And that opened in 2007, and that's really what the system we're operating now. In 2011, the Burren and Cliffs of Moher, they're awarded UNESCO recognised global geopark status. Geoparks are special regions with outstanding geology and local culture, regions that support sustainable development and cultural heritage by working closely with local communities, agencies and businesses. The work of the geopark, together with local tourism businesses, committed to making the area a premier worldwide destination for responsible tourism, continues to this day. Here in the Cliffs of Moher, we operate the Leave No Trace policy. And Leave No Trace is really advice for visitors who come to a sensitive area such as this. And there are just 7 principles or 7 little things that you should do. One is that you plan ahead. The second is that you respect animals and wildlife. You just leave them be, as it were. Third is that you consider others when you're here. Number 4, that you minimise the effects of fire. That you use durable ground when you're camping and walking on. That you dispose of your rubbish properly. These are the principles. And I suppose the reason for these is, like, we have inherited this great heritage and this site, and we want to leave that for others for the future. Thank you.